The Art of War Summary by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu advises, let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Despite being written over 2,000 years ago, The Art of War remains a highly relevant and valuable resource in modern times. Its timeless principles and strategies continue to provide valuable insights into the dynamics of conflict and warfare, making it a must-read for anyone seeking to gain a deeper understanding of military strategy and tactics. The book presents a contrast between two opposing concepts, art and war. While art represents creation, war symbolizes destruction. However, Sun Tzu's treatise argues that the most successful warfare is one that achieves victory without engaging in any fighting. Throughout the text, he provides subtle and nuanced strategies to gain the upper hand, sometimes without the opponent even realizing it. This underscores the importance of making plans that are dark and impenetrable. The Art of War, a treatise attributed to Sun Tzu, is a renowned military, strategic, and tactical classic that has had a significant impact on both Eastern and Western thinking. A cursory reading of this ancient text provides a comprehensive understanding of Chinese military and intelligence operations. However, a deeper analysis of its contents can enable one to draw parallels between the insights presented in the text and modern warfare, thereby gaining a better understanding of historical and contemporary global conflicts. At its core, the art of war serves as a metaphor for any situation that involves conflict. Its teachings can be applied to a wide range of scenarios, including business, politics, and personal relationships. By studying this text, one can gain valuable insights into the nature of conflict and learn how to navigate it effectively. The Art of War is a timeless masterpiece that continues to be relevant in today's world. Its teachings have stood the test of time and remain a valuable resource for anyone seeking to understand the dynamics of conflict and how to manage it successfully. This summary will briefly take you through the core ideas from the 13 chapters and reveal that the art of war isn't about aggression, but about being a master of knowledge. Knowledge is power. Deciding to go to war is a weighty matter that should never be taken lightly. It comes at a significant social and economic cost, and fighting and conflict are both time-consuming and expensive. Therefore, it is advisable to proceed only if it is absolutely necessary. Sun Tzu recommends nonviolent strategies wherever possible, as war can completely devastate a country and leave its people in ruins. Therefore, only wage war if you are confident that you are prepared, and try to end the conflict as quickly as possible. In the event that a decision is made to engage in warfare, it is imperative to undertake a series of calculations based on various factors. These factors include the moral law, heaven, earth, the commander, and finally method and discipline. By taking these factors into account, one can ensure that the decision to engage in warfare is made with the utmost care and consideration, and that the resulting actions are carried out in a manner that is both effective and ethical. If a group of individuals share a common moral code, they are likely to be motivated to support a particular cause based on their shared beliefs. Sometimes people fight for a cause they believe in, but if they don't really care about it, they won't be motivated to take risks. This is true even for groups like ISIS and Boko Haram. When fighting, it's important to consider things like the weather and the terrain you're on. In modern times, this also includes the internet and digital space. The leader of the group is very important because they set the values and provide guidance to everyone else. If the leader is not good, the group will fail. Finally, it's important for everyone to know their role and work together for the good of the whole team. To determine the outcome of a battle, we need to consider 5 factors and ask some questions. One of the important questions is which side has more invested in their moral values? This is similar to a coach motivating their team by reminding them of what they stand to gain or lose by winning or losing a game. Usually, the team that is more motivated and has a stronger sense of moral values will end up winning. This applies not just to sports, but to many other situations as well. When we're trying to predict who will win a competition, there are a few important things to consider. First, we need to look at the leaders on each side and decide who is better. Then, we need to think about things like the weather and the terrain, just like in a sports game. These things can give one side an advantage. We also need to think about which side is more disciplined and confident, and which side has better training and consistency. All of these factors can help us figure out who is more likely to succeed. Sun Tzu says, all warfare is based on deception. This means that in order to win, you need to trick your opponents into thinking you are weak or unprepared. During World War II, people were warned that talking too much could give away important information to the enemy, which could cost lives. The same idea applies here. Knowledge is power, so you don't want to give away too much information about your plans or strategies. Instead, you should try to make your opponents feel frustrated and confused, while secretly gathering information about their weaknesses. It's also important to always be prepared, even if you don't look like you are. This means that you should practice and train as if you are in a constant state of readiness, even if you appear to be resting or taking it easy. Have you ever lost an argument, failed to close a deal, or struggled in an interview or game? It's possible that you were not fully prepared. The key to success is to know yourself, understand your opponent, and evaluate yourself and others honestly and objectively. By doing so, you can take the first step towards achieving your goals and winning in any situation. Know your enemy. Sun Tzu's famous message from The Art of War emphasizes the importance of understanding your enemy. According to him, if you have knowledge of both your enemy and yourself, you can avoid the fear of losing in 100 battles. However, if you only know yourself and not your enemy, you will suffer a defeat for every victory you gain. And if you lack knowledge of both yourself and your enemy, you will inevitably lose every battle. This message highlights the significance of gathering intelligence and analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of both yourself and your opponent before engaging in any conflict. Understanding your adversary is not only about overpowering them, but also about devising strategies to defeat them without causing irreparable damage to the object of contention. Often, achieving victory comes at a significant expense, and it is more prudent to reclaim what is rightfully yours rather than annihilating it. Therefore, it is imperative to exercise discretion when selecting the battles to fight. Know your battles. In the context of battle and warfare, it is crucial to adopt a patient approach and wait for the right opportunities to arise. Winning often depends on the mistakes made by the opponent, so the primary objective is to defend until the right moment presents itself. As per Sun Tzu's teachings, adopting defensive tactics is essential to ensure security against defeat, while taking the offensive is necessary to defeat the enemy. Additionally, it is crucial to avoid the enemy's strengths and focus on identifying their weaknesses to gain an advantage. The challenge with implementing these strategies is that they require a significant amount of energy and patience. Additionally, launching an attack necessitates a considerable amount of strength, discipline, and energy. The key takeaway is that success is achieved by minimizing errors and capitalizing on our adversary's mistakes. Ultimately, success hinges on building momentum and devising innovative strategies. The combination of various strategies is crucial to achieving victory, and a competent leader will be able to customize ideas to suit specific circumstances. It is imperative to remain cognizant of the prevailing power dynamics in any given situation. For instance, those who are awaiting the adversary, particularly on their own turf, are better equipped and positioned than those who are arriving at the battleground. This is not to suggest that victory is unattainable if one does not have immediate control of the battlefield. Rather, it underscores the importance of being able to navigate, adapt, and strategize effectively. Know your faults. Understanding one's own weaknesses and faults is crucial for developing effective tactics. A key insight in this regard is that a general who comprehends the benefits of varying tactics is better equipped to lead their troops. To be prepared for war, one must remain in a constant state of readiness and have a range of plans in place to preempt any potential attacks. The prevalence of complacency leading to the loss of valuable items and the potential for victory to be snatched from the jaws of defeat is a common occurrence. However, acknowledging one's weaknesses and preparing for potential disasters can provide a means to confront catastrophes. By doing so, individuals can ensure that they are equipped to handle unexpected situations and mitigate the impact of any negative outcomes. A competent leader is aware of their limitations. Sun Tzu, a renowned military strategist, identified 5 common flaws that leaders, particularly generals, tend to exhibit. These include recklessness, cowardice, ill temperament, excessive sensitivity to their honor, and excessive concern for their subordinates, which can lead to undue worry. Therefore, when responding to a situation, it is advisable to consider which of these traits one is displaying. By doing so, one can avoid making hasty decisions that may have negative consequences. Know your terrain. It's important to know the place where you're fighting before going into battle. Knowing a lot about our surroundings helps us to take advantage of unexpected situations, plan sneak attacks, and strike when our opponents are least expecting it. As Sun Tzu once said, when the enemy is nearby and not making any noise, they're relying on the natural strength of their position. When you're dealing with an enemy, it's important to pay attention to their body language and actions. Sometimes, what they don't say can be just as important as what they do say. For example, if you see an enemy drinking water quickly, it could mean that their camp is running low on water or they're far away from a reliable water source. Additionally, you can tell a lot about an enemy's strength and organization by how they interact with each other. If they're well-disciplined and working together, they'll act in unison and won't show any signs of disagreement or conflict. According to Sun Tzu, if you treat your soldiers, workers, and other team members like your own children, they will follow you without any questions. But if you treat them like your own sons, they will stay loyal to you until the end. However, if you are too lenient and indulgent with them, they will behave like spoiled children and won't take their responsibilities seriously. So, it's important to strike a balance between being caring and being firm as a leader. It's really important to have a good understanding of the environment you're in and the conditions you're facing when you're in a battle. Sun Tzu, a famous military strategist, said that if you know your enemy and yourself well, you'll have a good chance of winning. And if you also understand the natural world around you, you'll be even more likely to succeed. Knowledge is people. The adage "knowledge is power" is a well-known maxim that underscores the importance of information in decision-making. However, the ability to anticipate events before they occur, or foreknowledge, is even more potent. In light of this, it is imperative to explore ways to acquire information more expeditiously than others. How can one go about learning information more quickly than their peers? The acquisition of certain types of knowledge may require the use of spies. As Sun Tzu outlines in his work, he distinguishes between various types of spies, including local spies, inward spies, converted spies, doomed spies, and surviving spies. When these spies are well coordinated and form a network, it is referred to as a divine manipulation of the threads. The power of such a network should not be underestimated. The successful coordination of spies and the execution of espionage operations require a high degree of subtlety and discretion. It is important to bear in mind that the opposing side may also employ spies, and as such, it is advisable to lure them out of hiding through the use of bribes, with the aim of converting them to our side. To conclude, according to Sun Tzu, there are 5 ways to achieve victory. Firstly, it's important to know when to fight and when not to fight. Secondly, winning requires understanding both weaker and stronger forces. Thirdly, the winning army should have a clear sense of purpose and follow a moral code. Fourthly, it's important to act unexpectedly and take the enemy by surprise. Finally, victory can be achieved by working together as a team, rather than being controlled by outside forces. Success is a constantly changing target, and once you achieve it, it's important to keep the method you used to get there a secret. Additionally, it's important to keep your opponents guessing because you can't rely on the same strategy to win every time. In order to achieve victory, it's important to adopt Sun Tzu's tactics of invisibility, unpredictability, surprise, and patience. However, winning also requires a shared belief system and a team that is willing to fight for it. Therefore, before engaging in any battle, ensure that your team is fully committed to the same end goal. And finally, listen up. If you want to gain the upper hand and outsmart your enemy, there's one crucial rule you must follow. Keep your tactics under wraps. Whatever you do, don't let them know that you've studied the legendary art of war. It's the ultimate secret weapon that will give you the edge you need to come out on top.